This is CBC Here and Now.
Mandatory retirement. Senator George Baker turns 75 today.
First I was nervous, but then there's like a lot of events going and I've met new friends.
Thousands of MUN students descend on the St. John's campus. Retracing a 400-year-old trail.
Certainly one of the first European trails cut in Canada for sure.
And it's back to school this week, and it's also back to summer. Temperatures are on the rise, so is the humidity. The details are coming up.
Welcome to a special 30-minute edition of Here and Now on this Labor Day Monday. Well, it's Labor Day, and that means thousands of students are making their way to Memorial University for the start of a new school year. For many, today was their first taste of life in St. John's. Here Now's Ryan Cook has more.
This is not a circus, nor is it an opera concert. This is Memorial University's welcoming ceremony for first-year students. The festivities were colorful, creative, and diverse, with performances ranging from cheerleading and acrobatics to Bollywood dancing. There was even this rousing rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody. It was a bright and warm welcome to many students experiencing Memorial University for the first time. For a couple first years from Clarenville, their new home of 18,000 students is actually 3 times larger than their hometown.
It's a lot of people compared to not a lot of people around Clarenville, so it's a big event, right? Something moving on with and something to get excited about.
With that many new faces around, it can be overwhelming. Luckily, many students made fast friends with the people around them.
At first I was nervous, but then there's like a lot of events going and I've met new friends, so I'm like really excited now and my nerves have kind of come down. There's a lot of people to help and everyone here is super friendly, so.
Monday's welcoming ceremony had a strong presence of multiculturalism with styles of entertainment from all over the world. First-year student Masleen Quindima moved to Newfoundland from Zimbabwe. While she said the weather is a bit chilly for her, she has become a fan of the welcoming atmosphere.
I like Canada, but then Newfoundland, I love it. People here are so nice, they're funny, they're welcoming, and there's great education down here. I like it, yeah.
Despite the school facing its toughest economic challenges to date, you wouldn't know it from the smiling faces in this room. Among this crowd, perhaps there's a future premier, a surgeon, or an astronaut, but for now, it's just a few thousand students battling jitters as they take the biggest plunge of their young lives. Ryan Cook, CBC News, St. John's.
Lots of people took advantage of the decent weather this weekend to go out for a hike, but a very small group took a very long hike back in time. In 1612, explorer Henry Croot led a party overland from Conception Bay to Trinity, cutting a trail that has fascinated historians and modern hikers. This weekend, a group set out to retrace those footsteps as authentically as possible. Here Now's Zach Gowdy joined the expedition.
Okay, I know they didn't have rubber boots in the 1600s.
No, they really didn't.
This guy should be the one complaining. I may be standing knee-deep in a bog, hours away from civilization, but at least I'm not wearing clothes from 4 centuries ago, right down to the sogging pantaloons. The story of how and why we came to be here begins in Cupids in the year 1612. Bristol merchant John Guy had founded the first English settlement in Canada and wanted to establish trade with the local Beothuk Indians. To find them, Guy's colleague Henry Crout cut a path from Conception Bay to Trinity Bay, more than 30 kilometers through difficult terrain.
September 1st, 1612. The wind at west all the day, very fair.
Exactly 405 years later, we are about to follow them.
It's very significant. It must be certainly, if not the first, certainly one of the first European trails cut in Canada for sure, if not North America.
Archaeologist Bill Gilbert discovered the site of Guy's colony in Cupids. From there, he and others pieced together the route of this trail by comparing Henry Crout's diary with locations on modern maps. For a few years now, every September, Gilbert leads a small group on a recreation hike.
I don't remember these trees being down before. No, we got to cross here somewhere.
But even with his expertise, following a 400-year-old trail is no walk in the park.
So guys, walk around the edge of this bog here. I think that's a couple of feet deep if you go right down into it.
This year, it's a mixed group on the trail. There are a few recreational hikers, including a small dog. There's an English journalist writing a feature for the Telegraph newspaper.
I'm a novelist and I'm doing research for a historical novel that's going to be set in Cupids around the time period of the first settlement there. So when I heard this was going on, and especially that there were going to be people coming along in period costume, couldn't resist.
And yes, also along for the journey are two interpreters who were doing it the old-fashioned way.
I've done the hike for probably the past 6 years, and one of the questions a number of people who have, and myself as well, was just how they did this in period clothing and what it would have been like. And so we figured this year, why not give it a try? You'll open your pant.
Their costumes are painfully authentic, as are their heavy replica muskets.
As we passed, we found great stores of ponds on every side as we passed. And in every pond, great stores of beavers' nests.
Along the way, they read passages from Kraut's diary.
That's up to my knee there.
And take questions on how it feels to hike in Kraut's clothes.
I think this idea of dressing in the costume that's exactly to the time period and then executing tasks or missions, adventures like this in that costuming has a visceral effect on me as a person. I can really feel what it would have been like to live in a specific time period. So I think that's what I'll take back with me.
The province is looking at opening the Kraut's Way hike to the public, so if this looks like fun, keep it on your calendar for next September. Zach Gowdy, CBC News, somewhere in the woods near Cupids.
Well, to a slightly more modern way of getting around. You better get ready for some traffic snarls in Paradise as kids head back to school and drivers return to their regular routine. The town is planning 2 months of road work, and it all starts tomorrow. The work involves the upper section of Kenmount Road from the roundabout to Civic number 1194. Road construction will take place Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and also every second Saturday morning. The town says it will keep lanes heading into St. John's open in the morning and the lanes headed towards CBS open in the late afternoon. Despite that, expect delays if you're using that section of the road from tomorrow up until early November. Close to 10,000 visitors are going to move through the streets of downtown St. John's in the coming days. They're arriving on 7 cruise ships that are going to be docking in the city this week. The Ida Luna made a short stop yesterday, and the Vision of the Seas was in port today. September is when many cruise ships stop in St. John's. There'll be 5 other ships arriving between now and Thursday, and 8 more are expected before the end of October. Senator George Baker turns 75 today, and that means it's mandatory retirement for members of the upper chamber. Baker was appointed to the Senate in 2002. Before that, he served as the MP for Gander Grand Falls for 28 years. He was known as a rabble-rouser, often going up against his own party on certain issues, like Finance Minister Paul Martin's austerity budget in 1995.
We're going to cut back on everything, yet we're going to give additional breaks to the multi-millionaires in our society. Well, then liberalism, as we know it, certainly is not present, and that's what I'm fighting against.
In spite of his clashes with fellow Liberals, Baker was still able to stay within the party. Memorial University professor Stephen Tomlin says one of the main reasons for that, well, Baker is a likable guy.
So you can say things when people like you, and you can people actually trust what you're saying because they say, well, this person that's doing this for advantage. In fact, he wasn't gaining advantage. So I think, sometimes people say things to say, well, it's pretty clear what they're saying. They're just following the party line. So I think part of it had to do with the fact that he was a likable guy, that he was somebody that, the people would have coffee with or have a beer with or have more than one beer with.
Now, CBC did invite George Baker to do an interview, but we didn't hear back from him. Well, up next, we'll tell you why people gathered at a St. John's school today to unveil a plaque in memory of a Newfoundlander known to the Royal Newfoundland Regiment as the Soldier Priest. Back to school week, so in a minute you're going to take a look at some of the back to school forecasts, trying to figure out what to wear. But the weekend, you know, I got to say, Saturday, you were warning it wasn't going to be so great. Always good to under-promise and over-deliver, because certainly in St. John's, it turned into not a bad day.
Yeah, rain didn't arrive here till a later day. Not so lucky places like Trinity, Conception Bay North, where the rain arrived a little earlier. Southern Avalon, but Metro was kind of in this dome for most of the day. Sunday, of course, was a money
Excellent day.
Blueberry picking?
Yep, I went out and I got a nice batch of blueberries. It was a great day to spend outside and get a little bit of sun.
And today we've been watching the rain rolling in. And have a look, a satellite radar picture shows that system that's been rolling in through the day. Rec House wind warnings earlier, those have been dropped, and that rain is coming at a pretty good clip, pushing up through Labrador as well. This is a warm front, so yeah, temperatures on the rise in behind this. And so too will be the humidity rising over the next couple of days. Not so much for Tuesday, but certainly Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're turning the humidity dial way up. Here is how things are playing out in terms of the radar. Pretty good line of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder in here pushing through the Corner Brook region as we speak in the Bay of Islands. Heads up for that. Also pretty solid line of rain here rolling across the Avalon as we speak. Heaviest returns right now tracking from St. Mary's Bay up into the Bay Roberts area, Conception Bay North, but this is pushing towards St. John's. So next 5-10 minutes, not necessarily a great time to take the dog out for a walk. Have a look at your future tracker timeline. It does show that heavy rain pretty much bang on. It also shows that round rolling through Corner Brook, so this model doing a very good job. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, that rain has departed. It's a very quiet start on the Avalon, across the island, I should say, including the Avalon, and across Labrador. Basically, the only chance of showers will be in Lab West and across towards Nain. So everybody else in that 8-9 degree range there, everybody else in the 10 to 14 degree range for from Happy Valley Goose Bay to Cartwright, right across the island. Winds in from the southwest, so a bit of a breeze to start the day. And as we roll throughout the day, you're going to note some showers rolling up into Happy Valley Goose Bay. Mainly it's the western half of Labrador that remains quite unsettled for Tuesday afternoon. Shower chances, but I think we'll stay dry in the Straits and down towards Mary's Harbor until tomorrow evening and into the overnight. And the island looks dynamite. And your 7 to 7 forecast will start near 14 degrees in St. John's tomorrow morning. Southwest winds, mostly sunny into the afternoon, 23 degrees, and a pretty nice Tuesday evening as well. The sun set at 7:32. Winds still in from the southwest, so overall a little on the breezy side tomorrow, but a very, very nice day indeed. As we take a look at that forecast in detail across the province tomorrow, again, ranging from 18 degrees in onshore winds to 22 to 24 inland once you get away from that onshore breeze. Winds gusting 50 to 60 across the island, so yeah, a little breeze. And into Labrador again, I think we'll stay dry for most of the day in the southeast with showers building in from southwest to northeast across the big land through the day, just 15 in Labrador City and 13 in Nain. Picking things up Wednesday morning, frontal boundary here will start to bring in some shower chances to the west coast and along the south coast of the island. I think we're going to be seeing some drizzle and fog, and that frontal boundary will basically stall out over the Gulf and clipping western Newfoundland, southeastern Labrador through the day on Wednesday. What we'll really see is the southerly wind pumping in the humidity, and that will be sticking around as we roll into the Thursday time period as well. So your back to school forecast, watch out for the bus. Wednesday morning, pretty solid walk to school, or walk to the bus stop, or the wait for the bus. Just shower chances in Corner Brook and along that west coast into southeastern Labrador. Those shower chances do hang on for most of the day along the west coast into southeastern parts of Labrador. Mostly sunny skies, or a mix of sun and cloud for pretty much everyone else. We'll have a look at that 7-day trend and an update on Hurricane Irma coming up. Peter?
Well, now we want to introduce you to a hockey player from Paradise. Jack Carter is 7 years old and plays with Yetman's Action Hockey and the Paradise Warriors.
Jack loves hockey and spends 4 to 5 days a week on the ice during the season to help develop his skills. He also plays baseball twice a week. Great work, Jack. You are today's Young Athlete of the Day.
Well, today, St. Bonaventure's College in St. John's recognized a former student who graduated more than 100 years ago. A plaque was unveiled to Thomas Nangle. He was a padre in the First World War and afterwards was instrumental in the establishment of the War Memorial in St. John's and securing Beaumont Hamel as a historic site in France. His daughter was on hand for today's ceremony.
Compassion, he showed in abundance on the battlefield and in dealing with the families of the fallen, and tenacity in realizing the dream of the war memorials he left behind, in spite of enormous difficulties and setbacks.
So who exactly was Thomas Nangle? Well, his story was part of a documentary produced by CBC Newfoundland and Labrador last year and marked the 100th anniversary of the Beaumont-Hamel battle. Hosts Alan Hocko and Mark Critch visited the battle sites in France, Belgium, and Gallipoli to retrace the footsteps of the Royal Newfoundland Regiment along what's known as the Trail of the Caribou. Here's an excerpt from the documentary that looks at Nangle's story.
Soldier priest. Father Thomas Nangle enlisted when he was 27 years old and became the padre of the regiment, giving them comfort on the battlefield and sadly sometimes performing the last rites.
But I think what Nangle will be most famous for is not what he did during the war.
It's what he did after. Nangle returned to France. He was there when many of the regiment fell. He saw them buried in mass graves, and it fell upon him to locate the missing.
Keep in mind, when Nangle found those bodies and relocated them to proper burial grounds, some of the men had been buried for up to 5 or 6 years.
It was a gruesome task, but that's what the Good Shepherd does. He locates the missing sheep and he returns it to his flock. Nangle couldn't bring the boys back home, but he could make a home for them here.
He managed to negotiate with up to 250 different farmers to purchase the land where Newfoundland Park now sits. Also, he managed to acquire all the spots where the caribou monuments are across France.
After the war, he returned back home to oversee the construction of the National War Memorial there. Then he left Newfoundland, never to return.
Actually, Nangle left the priesthood as well.
His son, Hugh, told me that stayed with his father all his life. And his son also said his dad used to have, when they were exhuming and interring the bodies, the smell and stuff, he said his father suffered from that a lifetime. He could never get that smell out of his nostrils. He used to shower constantly.
My father was guilt-ridden about that for years because he was a major force in recruiting for the regiment. It was the most difficult thing he had to do.
Inside this cathedral, some of the monuments that Nangle put together in honor of the Newfoundland Regiment are there. Let's have a look.
At the end of the war, grateful France erects plaques to commemorate the involvement of the Allied forces.
We have New Zealand, Australia,
Canada,
and the Dominion
of Newfoundland.
Canada inherited this when they joined with Newfoundland Confederation in 1949. This was Newfoundland soil in France.
Well, turning now to international news, about 95% of Houston is now dry in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. That's the good news. The bad news? Well, cleanup costs are mounting. The governor of Texas estimates it will take $180 billion to get his state back on track.
We have over 5 million people who are affected by this. It's going to require even more than what was funded for Katrina, which was about $120 billion.
Well, tomorrow, all city employees are set to report to work for the first time since Harvey struck nearly 10 days ago. But the school year could be off to a bumpy start. At least 75 schools have damage. In the meantime, over the next 11 days, there will be controlled water releases from 2 major reservoirs in Houston. The dams reduce flooding for more than 1 million people along the Buffalo Bayou watershed. Well, another royal is on the way. Kensington Palace has announced that Prince William and Kate are expecting their 3rd child. No due date was released, but Kensington Palace says Kate is once again suffering from a severe form of morning sickness. So for the time being, she will not be carrying out royal engagements. The baby will be the 5th in line for the throne, just behind William and Kate's 2 other children, Prince George and Princess Charlotte. Not surprisingly, the race to guess the baby name, it's already begun. And if you're wondering what the bets are on, well, bookmakers say Alice or Victoria are the clear favorites. If it's a girl, Arthur or Albert are most likely if it's a boy.
I can't believe that both he and I, after 20 some odd years, could stand here on the border and
still
debate this stuff with some passion.
Well, it's a changing of the guard for St. John's and Mount Pearl. Is it time for amalgamation? Well, I chat with the outgoing mayors of the 2 cities, and you can catch it tomorrow night on Here and Now. Welcome back to Here and Now. Long weekend is one last chance for people to have a little bit of outside fun, enjoy the long weekend, but you probably didn't enjoy it quite this much. Have a look. Yeah, this man in Germany beat his own world record for carrying the most number of mugs of beer. That's 29 beer steins. And he carried it for more than 40 meters, set it down without a spill. And apparently it weighs like 70 kilograms. Like, that is a lot of weight to be carrying. I don't know if he celebrated by having one, though.
I would think so. You walked all that way. He's got to be thirsty.
Well, hopefully your dinner will be a lot neater and more appropriately paced than this. Have a look. 3, 2, 1. We had to show you because credit is deserved where credit is due. Joey Chestnut, you can see him there in the red, is defending his title as the chicken wing eating champion yesterday at the Buffalo Wing Festival in New York. He scarfed down, get this, 220 wings in 12 minutes, setting a new chicken wing world record. Yeah, that does not seem to be sitting well with him. Like, oh.
No thanks. That would ruin chicken wings forever for me. Quick update, Hurricane Irma is now a Category 4 hurricane. This is a big, big storm. Thankfully, it is still out there a ways, but yeah, threats increasing quickly now for the Lesser Antilles and also the Caribbean, especially Cuba, where this may be a major hurricane for them by the end of the week into the weekend. Also, South Florida is now in that cone of uncertainty, so threats growing there as well. Long-range forecast models hooking it up somewhere in the vicinity of the Florida Peninsula this weekend. Not a direct threat for NL right now, but we're keeping a close eye on things over the next couple of days. There's a quick look at your forecast for tomorrow. Pretty good one, and we will obviously have a look at that long-range trend. Maybe we'll get there. There it is for the island. And you can see shower chances certainly as we roll throughout the week. Humidity rising as well. And there is your 7-day trend in Labrador. Good night, everyone.